Hey guys, Jeff here, and before we get to today's episode, I wanted to let you know about our Season 4 sponsor, Adventure is Out There Travel. If you're listening to this podcast, there's a pretty good chance that you're in the middle of planning your next Disney vacation right now. So why not make it easier for yourself? By working with an Adventure is Out There travel agent, you'll be having an experienced vacation planner doing the heavy lifting for you. Adventure is Out There Travel specializes in making sure your entire group gets to experience the type of activities they want in order to make your trip even more magical. Whether heading to a Walt Disney World vacation in Orlando, flying west to Disneyland, or floating on the high seas in a Disney cruise, Adventure is Out There Travel can help you plan the vacation of a lifetime. Visit adventureisouttheretravel.com for your free, no-obligation quote today. Now on with the show.
Is your magic meter running low? Well, we've got a cure for you. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff Polly.
And I'm Patrick Dougal.
And Patrick Dougal. It has been quite the weekend and week for theme park fans.
So much stuff.
So much. And of course, we'll be getting to a bunch of it. I do want to say, we all know Pandora opened at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
We're going to get to that in future episodes because we're going to spend a lot of time talking about Guardians of the Galaxy mission Breakout. Mm-hmm. And you're going to visit Pandora soon.
Yes.
Aaron is going to visit soon. So we'll be talking about it on future episodes. Didn't want you to think we're ignoring it. We're certainly not. Mm-hmm. But before we jump into stuff, I want to mention Diego Parada is a viewer who left a comment on YouTube. And do you remember we were talking about Happily Ever After?
Yeah.
And I mentioned, I can't remember if you agreed or not, that I feel like the Once Upon a Time projection show is very unnecessary now due to the fact that, you know, so much of Happily Ever After is projection. Mm-hmm. So Diego mentioned he thinks that they should call the Welcome Show Once Upon a Time and then end the day with the Happily Ever After that we know and love. And I think that that's because I love the bookend of the titles, Once Upon a Time, Happily Ever After. So he says call the Welcome Show at the beginning of the day at the park Once Upon a Time and get rid of the Once Upon a Time projection. I think that's a good idea.
Or I've heard the same thing with bookends of just nighttime shows. Like Once Upon a Time is the beginning of the Nighttime Spectacular and Happily Ever After is the end of it.
What do you mean, in the same show?
Well, they're just like, you can kind of connect them by...
the two shows that exist.
Yeah.
Run them together. Mm-hmm. I like that idea less. But...
not run them together. It's just the fact that in terms of both Nighttime Spectaculars, it's Once Upon a Time, Happily Ever After.
Yeah, we get that. I just think Once Upon a Time should go away. The projection show. It's unnecessary at this point. But in any case, I like the idea, Diego. Thanks for writing in. Always appreciated. But that, I mentioned Pandora already, so that means it's time for House of Mouse headlines. Here we go.
Hear the latest news from the Walt Disney Company in today's House of Mouse headlines.
So over at the Disney Hollywood Studios, there's a new show going on in the Beauty and the Beast theater. I believe we talked about it before, but the Pixar concert series. I've seen video of it.
Yeah, me too.
It looks a lot of fun.
The official title is The Music of Pixar Live, A Symphony of Characters.
Too long, first of all.
The title. Well, it's basically the music of Pixar Live. But this, I love this idea. Mm-hmm. I'm really happy. Listen, I think that everybody recognizes the fact there's a ton of construction going on at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So we need to, fill it with some other stuff. I think this is great. It is a little... too sophisticated for the general audience, I feel like. I don't know if most people would want to see it. Like, see a symphony. They throw a lot of Disney characters in there to make it fun for the whole family. I love it. There's kind of a trend going on right now. There's a lot of shows touring the country with live orchestras playing along to film. So it's kind of becoming a thing. I love this just concept in general. So I'm happy with it. Did you see the whole thing or just some highlights?
I saw some highlights, and then I've seen some before show stuff. It looks like they have just a bunch of green army men running around, just like haggling people throughout the audience.
Oh, nice.
For fun.
I remember when they used to do that with Fantasmic. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. I think they were the bellhops, right? Like the Tower of Terror bellhops would mess with you.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a bellhop costume
Probably.
involved.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I did see there were some padded seats. I don't know if this was the whole... Now, is this new for Beauty and the Beast as well?
I don't know. I just saw a couple pictures that said like padded seats, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
That's a good thing. Let's put that in all of Fantasmic. Can we make that happen over at Walt Disney World? That'd be great. Now, there was a giant LED screen behind the orchestra that played clips from the movies and interviews and stuff, and it was very cool. Just saying, listen, we got a giant LED screen at Disney California Adventure at a little theater called the Hyperion that could be repurposed for this. I wouldn't.
Would it fill the entire Hyperion?
I wouldn't have a problem with it. You know what? I don't care.
But funny enough, I know that screen can be used for anything because
Well, of course, it's an LED screen.
Well, yeah, but I thought it was like programmed or whatever. But apparently, like during like for the Hero of Summer like event for cast members, they like played Avengers was like on the LED screen and like
like you watch a full movie.
Yeah, you can put anything up there. So
yeah.
It could be repurposed.
Yeah, I definitely think they had that in mind when they put Frozen in there, personally. Now, they do have dining packages, of course, for the music of Pixar Live. They range in price from $39 to $57. Pretty decent, I'd say, for reserved seating at the show. They even have an option where you can see music of Pixar and Fantasmic. The price goes up a little bit in that case. But your dining options are Hollywood and Vine, Mama Melrose's, Hollywood Brown Derby. Like I said, the prices range, but... to me, it actually sounded like a pretty good deal. But I will say the video I saw, the theater was not full. So I don't know how popular it is. Like I said, I don't know if the general public really cares all that much about live orchestras.
From what I saw, there's 3 showings.
Yeah, 3 showings a night, yeah. So, and Beauty and the Beast is still happening during the day, so that hasn't been affected at all. This is great. I believe it's a limited time summer thing. Is that correct?
Summer.
Yeah, I would love to see something like this become more permanent. I think it's great. But speaking of Disney's Hollywood Studios, we got what we so rarely get as Disney fans: a complete shock. This was not rumored. This was not leaked.
I didn't even know till day of.
Nobody did.
Nobody did. Oh, there's a new show at Hollywood Studios.
There is a new projection show at Disney's Hollywood Studios called Disney Movie Magic. It's projected on the Chinese theater. It happens 30 minutes before Star Wars: The Galactic Spectacular. And this is simply a celebration of the movies, which makes me very happy for a lot of reasons. Number one, we're remembering the fact that Disney's Hollywood Studios is about celebrating movies. So I think that that's great. Number two, I think that the more projection shows we keep getting on the Chinese theater, the less likely of the Chinese theater going away is, which I think is a plausible. It could happen with the retheming of the park. I don't think it will, but I wouldn't be shocked if they announced that one day either. So I think that that's great. Did you watch the show?
Highlights. There was some like...
It's only 10 minutes long.
I don't have time. I'm gonna see it in person.
All right.
But I did see some like very like things I'd never see. Like they did Tron and Rocketeer.
It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. They even threw Guardians in there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun stuff.
You can see clips of Muppets Take Manhattan, Indiana Jones. Of course, you mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, they did have that brilliant moment in Volume 2. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all! But sadly, they didn't mix it with
together.
Mary Poppins.
It was so good.
Yeah, because there is Mary Poppins in the show, but they didn't... I was a little surprised that they didn't take advantage of that moment. Rocketeer, you mentioned, Saving Mr. Banks, Tron... There is some Newsies in there. From what I hear, although I did not see it personally, I hear there's some Hocus Pocus.
Oh.
I hope that that's true. Like a really quick thing of it. I hope that's true. Sadly, no Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, darn.
No, seriously, Patrick. I think that that's actually... that's ridiculous that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids isn't represented in there. One thing that bothered me... Okay, so you know my whole concern... My... disgust or the thing that drives me crazy about when they throw Pirates of the Caribbean and all the animated stuff. They threw Nightmare Before Christmas in this. Why would you do a show of all live action and then throw Nightmare Before Christmas in there?
Well, it's stop motion.
It's stop motion, but I'm sorry. That was just so weird to me. I was like, literally everything you're showing is live action. I love that. I love that it's got its own little thing. But then you throw one animated film in there?
Live action.
Drove me
Live
crazy.
action, stop motion.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you can call Jungle Book live action, then I guess.
Yeah. The kid is.
But yeah, no, I love this. I'm really, truly excited that they're doing this. And now, is it on the park schedule now? Because that was like a surprise thing that night, right? It just kind of happened? Or
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if it's on the park schedule. I didn't see any info as to if this is limited or what, but I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah. Out there.
Speaking of out there,
Living in the sun.
there was some craziness that happened, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, it makes you very happy.
Happily Ever After, of course, debuted, and with his brand new song, the artists, Jordan Fisher and the girl I don't remember the name of.
Her name is Angie. I apologize if I'm saying this wrong. Kielhauer.
She's a country artist. So
She's from The Voice. She was a finalist in The Voice.
But it seemed like I looked her up, and it seems like she sings country music. So
Okay.
that's probably why I don't know her. But they did a live performance.
But you've heard of Jordan Fisher?
Oh, of course.
You know
Hello.
you know him?
Hello.
Yeah.
It's me.
Okay.
So they did a live performance in front of the castle, which is great. I saw the video. At one point, I feel like one of their mics went out, or was that just me?
I didn't want.
Oh, you didn't watch it.
No, I did watch it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I was like, okay, I've heard this song before.
Yeah, at one point I swore they were singing, and then it just like went blank for a little bit, and
Maybe.
then it like came back, and I was like, oh, okay.
The video I was watching, I guarantee the videographer was going crazy because he was pretty far away, had a good camera, could zoom in, but a balloon kept going in the way.
Oh, no.
And I was just like, oh, this guy wants to pop that balloon so bad right now. And I wouldn't blame him.
Speaking of that, I have a story.
There should be announcements. First of all, can we just say there should be park-wide announcements before fireworks and all that stuff when they're doing, presented by Honda. There should be a please lower your balloons announcement. And I'm not kidding. I think that that's a totally reasonable thing.
Speaking of that, we'll get to a story I have later because it has to do with another topic.
Okay.
But that happened. Excitingness.
Cool, yeah. Now, was that a known thing or was that a
don't
surprise too?
Think so.
Are we just like not in the loop anymore? Or I feel like there's a lot of surprises this week that, like I said, I love these. There's not enough of them. And I understand why Disney announces stuff prematurely because I'm sure they would rather announce it than have it leaked, and so much stuff gets leaked. And I applaud them on surprises when it works out. So good for them. Oh, hey there. Sorry to be interrupting the show, but a lot of you have been writing in requesting that we make new episodes more frequently. As much as we would love to do that, we simply don't have the time. But here's the good news. You can interact with us every day of the week. No need to just wait for Wednesdays. Connect with us in places like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, we'd love to interact with you in the comment sections on YouTube and read your reviews on iTunes or wherever you listen to the show. So go ahead. No more waiting around for Wednesdays to have some DCTC time. You can find all of our links at DisneyCoastToCoast.com. Now, over in Walt Disney World as well, now there's been a rumor apparently for a long time now, but now it's coming back into fruition because of a bit of competition, but apparently they've been working on a volcano roller coaster type of attraction for Walt Disney World. Had you ever heard of this? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is an idea that they wanted to put in Adventureland. They were going to call it Fire Mountain, of course, adding it on to all of Splash Mountain and Big Thunder and all that jazz. And this idea came to be in the early 2000s as an indoor volcano-themed flying coaster. Obviously, it never happened, but now with the success of Moana and them wanting to get Moana back into the park, they supposedly are looking at this idea again, putting it in Adventureland at Walt Disney World. But I think realistically, they want the coolest volcano around, and Universal Studios Orlando recently opened their newest and supposedly greatest water park, Volcano Bay. So, what do you think about this? Coincidence?
Well, let's be honest. The best volcanoes in Disney Tokyo Sea.
And supposedly, yeah. Supposedly, some of the ideas originally from the early 2000s were eventually put into Tokyo Disney Sea, but perhaps we could have a volcano that cool in Orlando.
It would be super cool. However, I feel, I don't know, depending how they do it, I feel Adventureland is always like a kind of like crazy area, even in like Walt Disney World. So
busyness, you mean? Oh,
yeah, like I don't know where it would
I think it was like behind. They had space behind
Jungle.
Pirates.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I had heard.
Okay, so if you're gonna do behind Pirates, like what, and you're gonna have like, is it gonna be seen still from like? It has to be a visible location where it's like you gotta be able to take a picture with it, and like all that stuff. I'm sure they'll figure it out if they do it, but it sounds exciting. Like if they, I would ride a Taka ride or whatever.
Personally, I would rather see it themed to lava. Okay. I know I'm like 10%.
No one's gonna ride a roller coaster themed to lava.
Where you hear the song the whole time? A long time ago.
No.
You're riding a volcano.
That's a, like, boat ride.
And there'd be a giant smiley face in the volcano. #win. That'd be fantastic.
No.
I think it would be cool to add another mountain to the parks. I don't know. The whole mountain theme just is like Disney's thing, so I'm all for that. But yeah, it's an interesting little rumor, and Volcano Bay looks great. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a volcano, especially if it like erupted. That'd be great. I love it. Anywho, what else is going on?
Well, over at Disneyland, at DCA specifically, we got a Disney Junior dance party.
That's
of course,
right.
the whole Disney Junior show closed with the puppets and whatnot, and now we got a new one. I saw it.
I saw a video of it. I didn't go to it.
I saw it. Well, let me go back to my story now about balloons. Because when you're on the floor of Disney Junior dance party, you gotta sit. And let me tell you, this lady stood up not even like the kid, like the grandma lady stood up every song, and it got to the point where the cast members were not doing anything, that I got to the point and like went up to her and I was like, you need to sit down. And she sat down and then she got up again and I was like, I like looked around and everyone's like looking at me like, oh, it's just the worst.
You were supposed to get up and dance, Patrick.
No. The kids are supposed to get up and dance. Oh. You're not supposed to stand up, walk to the front of the stage, and hold your phone out and try to take pictures of the characters like this.
Okay.
It's not right. Okay. And cast members, looking at you, because I did your job 3 times.
Oh.
Anyway.
We got an angry, sassy Patrick.
Anyway. This show's great.
Now, can I just be completely honest about something? I didn't realize it was a show. I thought that it was going to be like kind of just an open, if you're not
like a
dance party that just went on all day, because it's called Disney Junior Dance Party. So I totally assumed that's what it was. If you're not familiar with the Disney Junior Live on Stage space, there's basically a stage, and that's just a ton of open space that because everybody sits on the floor.
There's seats in the back.
Yeah, there's a bench in the back, but I was just dumbfounded. I was like, oh, it's still a show. Okay. As we mentioned, no puppets because of the puppet strike. So they say, but who knows? But yeah, it features Sophia the First, Doc McStuffins, the Lion Guard, and the Roadster Racers, which is Mickey Mouse's new show. So yeah, it was cute. I don't know. Do you prefer it or?
Yeah.
Now, did you ever see Disney Junior Live on Stage? Because I know you went a long time without seeing it.
I never saw it in DCA.
Wow. Okay.
But I saw it in Hollywood Studios. It's the same show.
Okay.
I actually prefer this one. I think the energy is more fun. There's more interactivity, and instead of puppets, you're getting full mascot characters, including Timon.
Yeah. And I will say it is non-stop energy.
Yeah, it is.
And the kids go wild, and of course they do the guarantee freakouts like bubbles.
But it's like very instead of so the old Disney Junior show is kind of like the TV shows, you're like, do you see where the pirate ship is? And everyone's like, pirate ship. Now they're walking out with iPads and like cameras with ring lights, and they're like, get up and dance. And it's like, whoa.
Patrick apparently really enjoyed Disney Junior Dance Party.
It's very different. It was like going to a club for little kids.
It totally was. And they did. It was a nice repurposing of the space.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I preferred or not personally, but it's fun.
But the funniest part is all the interactivity they do, because a lot of times kids will like want to interact but then not, especially during the Lion Guard section. They go up and put like little like fake like manes around kids, and they're like, say roar, and the kids are like rawr. And they're like, great job. Thanks, kid.
The thing that I found kind of interesting, so as you mentioned, she has an iPad that she travels around with, and there'll be a lot of, hey, hit this button. And usually when something like that is in a show, the kid will quote unquote hit the button, but then somebody at a soundboard will actually hit it to make it go off so that nothing can go wrong. But I gotta be honest, I think the kids are actually controlling it because, like, based on the video I saw, there's no way anybody at a soundboard would actually be able to see what the kid was doing.
Yeah.
So I think that iPad that the host is, or the DJ, what's her name? DJ. And then there's a guy too. Finn. Oh, like, that just makes me think of Glee. Finn. But in any case, it's a new show, but at Disney California Adventure, something much bigger, much better has come around. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, this, of course, is the attraction that took over the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror at Disney's Disney California Adventure. And there was obviously tons of controversy around this.
Lots.
But it's open, and the reviews are pretty darn good. And I would say it's exactly what I expected. It is the ugliest show building I've ever seen in my life.
I like it.
But it's a very fun ride. I honestly don't understand how you can like the exterior look of that building.
I like the exterior look of the building.
Okay, well, now you went to the opening announcement. Were you there for that?
The media preview.
Yeah, was that the one that, like, Benicio del Toro and all of them? Right? Okay. So, this, in my opinion, was extremely awkward. Did you? I don't like when. Here's the thing: when you're doing these openings, I feel like these companies need to make a decision. Are we going to have the president of Parks and Resorts come out and make this a professional presentation, or are we going to try and tell a story with this and have characters come out? Because this was a mix of the two, and it was just weird because they had colored, like purple creatures coming out and, like,
His assistants.
in character.
The collector's assistant.
Yeah, but then you had actors from the film coming out. I'm going to say this wrong, Clementif, Michael Rooker, Zoe Saldana, Benicio del Toro coming out as themselves, not as their characters. And it was, to me, awkward. And Benicio del Toro looked like he had no clue what was going on.
Oh no! Did you not hear the interaction between the collector's assistant and then Benicio del Toro?
I saw the whole video.
Oh, it's funny because she presents the collector and Benicio del Toro comes out.
Yeah, I know.
And she's like, "You can't be there. That's the collector's spot." And he goes,
"Yeah, we're
Don't
very
worry,
close.
we're very close."
Yeah, but to me that was
It worked.
No, it didn't work.
It worked.
That's the thing. It didn't work.
It did work.
No, it was lazy. That was trying to get actors to come do this so that they had, celebrities, but making it as easy for them as possible and saying, okay, we're not going to put you through makeup and stuff. So I would have rather them just been like, let's just present this with the director of the film and the actors, and had Bob Chapek, who called it, by the way, Bob Chapek called it Disney's California Adventure. Bob, it's Disney California Adventure. Just saying.
Walt Disney World.
That's right, Walt Disney World. Now, yeah, I just thought it was awkward. You liked it. I'm glad.
Maybe it's because I was just there.
Yeah, it was very awkward to me. But they did use map projection on the building for this, and I am very curious, as a person who was there in the park, do you feel like they could do a map projection show nightly on this building, or was it really extremely limited viewing?
Yeah, I don't think... I think they could do it, but the view, like, physically they can map project on the building.
Yeah.
But, like, for a viewing show, there's not enough viewing space.
Okay.
Even so, where they're they had the party in the, like, Hollywood area where like Monsters Inc. is whatever. They only allowed media and press to go to the actual viewing area, and everyone else had to watch from screens. So
okay.
even just the party, there wasn't enough room.
Okay, so it was basically just for live streaming purposes. That's a bummer, because I really do like the tower as a projection surface. I think works really well, but there's not great viewing in the park, so that's a bummer. But that was the pre-show thing. Did you happen to go to the making of panel?
No, that was a part of the extra
party.
ticket event. Yes.
Okay, which I'm very happy to hear. I know several people who did the extra ticketed $150 event.
It seemed like it was worth it. Like, they got a hat, and they got a bunch of free swag. They got a panel. They got a lot of stuff.
I don't know if I would necessarily pay it for that attraction. Maybe a different attraction. Yes, the thing that I'm most happy about is everybody I know that did it did the ride like 4+ times. So that's a big win because that was my concern. Obviously, if you don't know, there's 6 different versions of the ride. And I was just concerned that they tend to oversell these things. So I don't know if they just didn't oversell it or if it didn't sell well, but people seem to be able to ride it a lot.
It's sold out, I believe.
Did it? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was happy for all of them. It sounded like it was a good time. Some people did say, the biggest problem I heard was the line for like food was an hour. Because everybody had those meal vouchers, so like people weren't paying for food, so everybody was getting food.
Got it.
And apparently those lines got very long, and I think they ran out of stuff. So that's not good. But in any case, I'm happy they got to ride the ride. Let's talk about the ride now. As I mentioned, I personally hate the exterior of the building. You like it.
I like it.
But let's get into the pre-show stuff that we get.
First of all, the cute for me, which was like a pro-con, when I wrote it during the media event, I didn't wait in line or anything, but I didn't notice till after people were posting the amount of Easter eggs that were in the exterior queue because I never got to walk through it.
Okay.
So there's actually like an Avengers almost like time capsule seal. There's like a gnome that like says go away.
I saw the gnome. What is that from?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I saw the gnome.
I think he was part of the collector's thing. But a lot of people are saying the Avengers thing is a hint to a new ride. Who knows?
Supposedly there are Easter eggs that are foreshadowing, future stuff. So that's interesting. Speaking of Easter eggs, the Figment is in there, which is pretty cool. Figment is in the lobby in one of those collector's boxes high up in the sky. You kind of just see his silhouette. But I think that's great.
Yeah, the best angle is if you're walking. It's going to be probably the fast pass side. As soon as you walk in, you look up to your left. He's in the highest box. It changes color from purple to yellow.
Yeah.
So one of those colors.
There you go. So that's pretty cool. The very, very obvious one is the Abominable Snowman from the Matterhorn.
Harold the Yeti.
Harold, yeah. He is in the Boiler Room, which, Boiler Room is kind of as embarrassing how little it has changed.
Yeah, it's
the Tower of Terror.
But then I think about it, and then I'm like, okay, listen, we're gonna like Pandora took like 5 years, like this open, this closed in January and is now open, and I'm like, okay, that's like record time for Disney.
Absolutely, and also, from what I understand, they only really worked 18 months on this. So even like in the pre-production process, it sounds like it's only been about 1.5 years that they've been working on it. So I applaud them. Hey, that's great. We're always complaining about how long it takes to get stuff done. But it is kind of funny how on one coast we had a project that took like 5+ years that we were waiting for it, and another one was like 5 months.
And they both open the same day, and they both have the same amount of weight.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, the Boiler Room was really a really big disappointment, I felt. There are some Tower of Terror Easter eggs as well. I want to mention the bellhop hats and a bookmark with the HTH logo on it can be found in the collector's office, and even a painting from the Hollywood Tower Hotel can be found in the Boiler Room. So there's definitely, I always appreciate that and love that. Part of it is it's like they're just like, hey, it's cheaper to do this, but I think a huge part of it is you really need to honor what was there beforehand, and I love that they do that.
There's also almost like 2 pre-shows, because as soon as you walk into the queue, there is a video monitor showing a scene. I think it's about 5-6 minute loop. It is a great clip.
Can I just tell you, I love that we now have Chris Pratt in a Disney attraction. I love that man. Yeah. I just do. God, he's awesome.
And they filmed this entire ride alongside Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, so it is brand new footage. Yeah. Great, hilarious clip. I suggest if you're walking through, maybe stay there and watch through the whole thing. And then, of course, we get to a second pre-show, which is usually...
Before the second pre-show, there's a painting of Jeff Goldblum.
There's a painting, yes.
That's a win. What's that character?
I talked about this with some of the art directors there because... we've talked about this before, the fact that people, way before Guardians or Mission Breakout opened, people noticed Mission Breakout building in the Thor 2 trailer.
Yeah.
That was never confirmed, but now it seems more likely because Jeff Goldblum's character is, I think...
say his name again?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
That made me laugh. Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. His character, I believe, is the brother of the Collector. So not only does this fit in the Marvel universe, but it's almost like foreshadowing between stuff to come. I feel like Mission Breakout is now part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where if you're watching all the Marvel movies, you have to watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, ride Mission Breakout, and then watch Thor Ragnarok.
And now there are 2 Jurassic connections to Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Sure.
We've got Chris Pratt from Jurassic World and Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park and the Lost World and Jurassic World 2.
Yeah, they're both going to be in together.
This is let's write some fan fiction. I'm so excited. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Yeah, not only is his the picture up there, but in the actual Tavon's office, there's a note on the desk that has to do with his character as well. So a lot of Easter eggs. But going into the next pre-show, the library room, this one I didn't spoil myself. I freaked out the first time I went into this pre-show.
Did you?
I freaked out because I thought it was just going to be the normal, like, watch a video, move on. But it's so much more than that.
Now, I knew it was coming.
You saw video?
I saw video.
Okay. I didn't get spoiled, and I was like, what is going on? What is happening?
So if you don't know, spoiler alert, as if we haven't had enough of those already, we do see, what's his name? Rocket.
There's a Rocket animatronic.
Yeah, Rocket animatronic in there. Did you stay in the room long enough to see him swipe the Walkman?
Of course.
Yeah. So I will say, there are a lot of bad viewing areas.
Oh, yeah, you have to be in the far left corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending.
Well, so here's the weird
on which
thing.
one you go into.
So the screen for the pre-show is the opposite side of the room of Tower of Terror. So that's a little weird because when you first walk into Tower, you're walking and the screen's like right ahead of you, and now you walk in and you like have to turn around. So not a big deal at all. Just an observation. But yeah, I definitely had a bad view of the Rocket animatronic, and I didn't think. I mean, he was fine, but people are like, he's the cutest thing ever. I'm like, no, Baby Groot is the cutest thing ever. Which, while we're on Baby Groot, can I just tell you, continuity driving me crazy here. We got Baby Groot in the ride and adult Groot meet and greet in the park.
He's fine.
No, kill me. Kill me now.
So my favorite part of this pre-show is the fact, Tower of Terror, you walk into the pre-show, everyone quotes the whole thing. Guess what? That cannot happen because Rocket does it for you. He quotes Devon and then shuts him up. So I love it.
You love it.
I love it.
It was fun. Now, is that all we got with the pre-show stuff? Yeah, what are your thoughts on the ride? What songs did you get to ride?
I've ridden it 10 times.
Holy moly.
I've only hit 4 songs.
Okay. 10 times?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Between 2 days.
Okay. Now, I've heard some of the video is the same. It's just the music that changes?
Some of the video is the same, some of it different. Yeah, I got 4 songs, and I think one of them had, like, the beginning screen was different, but the end was, like, the same as another one. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they do it. One of them was totally, like, some of them were totally different. I don't know.
I got Give Up the Funk. That's the song I got.
I've had, is it I think it's We Got the Funk.
Whatever it's called. I don't know. I think
We Got the Funk, Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
Free Ride, and I Want You Back by Jackson 5. So I'm missing Born to Be Wild and Burning Love.
Born to Be Wild sounds like it could be a fun one. But yeah, okay. First of all, it's a different sensation than Tower of Terror. Like, I'm a little concerned about cable snapping in this elevator. There's a lot of bouncing, and apparently it happened. Like, not since opening.
Initially, very first testing. But yeah, like I said, I was saying to most people, but if you're comparing this ride, this Guardians is way more intense than Tower is.
It's not to me, not on a scary level. It's
no, not scary.
It's
just more.
I mean, it's
there's
literally
double. I think there's double the lifts and drops than on Tower.
Yeah, it's an elevator dancing is really what it comes down to.
And even when you're on a floor, it's still bobbing.
Yeah, it's very fluid. It's very smooth. It's very fun. Like, I enjoyed it. And even so when you go to the floors and the screen's open or the door's open and you see the screen, like, you're not even necessarily level with it the whole time. Like, you're bouncing up and down, and there's some really fun. Like, it was a fun sensation. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I was definitely like, oh my goodness, I really don't want a real Tower of Terror situation to happen sometime in this ride.
Yeah.
Because this thing
it starts up, you get launched up immediately, and then you hit floor after floor, and you launch up and down and up and down and up and down.
Now, the screens that they use are crystal clear.
So bright.
Like, so clear. Are they LED or projection?
I don't know.
They're very, 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 very clear. I love that. I'm so happy this is not in 3D. I'm sure it would have been very difficult to make it in 3D anyway, considering how much you're moving. But I'm happy that it's not in 3D. The one big complaint I have about this, other than the exterior, is I'm not quite sure what we did as passengers to help save them.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you get the story? Because
No.
I actually love the story.
I mean, I get that we're helping them break out, but by the end of the ride, I have no idea how we did that. I'm like, all right.
The point of us was when you hit the pre-show.
Yeah.
So we're visiting Tavon's collection.
Yeah.
He is presenting the Guardians of the Galaxy for the first time.
Yes.
We are like museum visitors.
Yes.
To gain entry, we get our bio
Hands
scanned.
scanned. Yes.
So our hands get scanned. So in the pre-show, Rocket escapes and he needs to blow up the generator that's holding the Guardians of the Galaxy. And to do that, he needs to get up to the 4th floor generator to blow it up. But he can't get up there because he has little raccoon hands.
That's right. So all that we do is we bring him up there.
So what we do is we give him entry. So he sneaks onto the gantry lift. Okay. That's why in the beginning, in the very first, when you get on the elevator and you push back.
Yeah, you see a silhouette.
Yeah, you see Rocket's silhouette and it's all red. There's red light and it's hard to hear when there's a lot of people, but he goes, "Show me your hands, people," and you're supposed to show your hands, and then everything goes blue, and he goes, "We got entry, let's go," and then you go to the 4th floor generator.
That's the point I missed. I had a very loud elevator.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the point in the story I missed.
Did you sit in the back as well?
I was in the back row.
Okay,
yeah.
yes. What I've learned since I rode an elevator even by myself the first time, and I heard everything. There's so many different quips Rocket has throughout this ride that it's very hard to hear if you're in the back or in a full elevator. In the front, you hear it more, but when you're in a quiet elevator, every lift and drop, because Rocket is on your elevator until the end. So Rocket is on your elevator, so he makes a one-liner almost every like lift and drop, and it's great if you can actually hear it. But as when I learned when I rode full elevators, it's harder, especially in the back as well.
I did hear him say, "Hey, look, it's Disneyland."
Oh, did you get that one?
Yeah,
I love that one.
That's when you get to the top and the doors open.
Yeah, but there are some where when you hit a floor and you just see like a painting on the elevator, he'll be like, "What does this button do?" And he hits it and then you fall.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, it's fun. That makes much more sense. I guess, so we really don't have much to do. We gain him access and he does the work, I guess. But, you know, Chris Pratt's in the ride, so that's a win.
But even funny enough you say that he does the work, because in one of the sequences, after you say goodbye, they were like, "Thanks for helping." Drax is like, "What did they do? They didn't do anything. We did all the work."
There you go.
And I was like, "Yes, Drax."
So it's true. Yeah, it's a fun ride. Like, it's really, really fun. If you had to choose, I think I already know your answer. If you had to choose Tower of Terror or Guardians, what would you choose?
If it's between the Tower of Terror it's Mission Breakout.
Okay. For me, I would say as far as fun ride goes, I'd go with Mission Breakout. As far as story goes, I prefer the Twilight Zone overlay. Plus, then the building isn't as ugly. But it's a great addition to the park. I guess it's, in my opinion, a very good first Marvel in the U.S. parks. So yeah, much more to come, and we'll see what happens with Marvel in the parks. But yeah, it was fun. Is that all you got to say about it? I think that's it.
We covered a lot.
Yeah.
Of course, coming with a ride, you end up in the gift shop. Or
which did not impress me.
Tavon's warehouse of collectibles. My favorite thing is my favorite item is they actually have plushes of like Cosmo and Howard the Duck and Groot and Rocket. But the fact they come in plastic cases that look like the cases that everyone is.
That's cool.
So I like the packaging of that.
Get ready for Star Wars Land packaging. Man. That's going to be intense. I did see a lot of people, although I didn't spend much time in the store, but I saw people with sunglasses that had like Groot's head. Mm-hmm. Did you see this?
I don't think those were
they're not in the park?
So were giving them away at the parties. So it was probably people who were at the parties.
Cool. By the way, I went opening day and I only waited 90 minutes.
Nice.
I got there when the park opened. It was chaotic, definitely, but 90 minutes, I was like, this is not, to me, this is not bad for a brand new attraction. So, good stuff. Congratulations to everybody who was involved with that. Well done. And, there's a lot of complaining about that attraction. And
I love it.
Like I said, it's pretty much what I expected. It's a drop ride with Guardians characters in an ugly building. It's cool.
It's cool. A fun building.
Anyway, also this past weekend, it was finally the release. I feel like we've heard so much about it, but the release of Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales. Mm-hmm. You saw it. I saw it. Would you quick little review? What'd you think?
Quick little review. I never saw Pirates 4, so
me either.
Can't compare it to that. But I think it's on par with 2 and 3. 1 is my favorite. I liked 2 and 3 get a little weird, but they're still okay. I think it's on par with that. I like the fact that they have like the Keira Knightley kind of and Orlando Bloom characters kind of back with their daughter and son kind of thing. A lot of CGI. Salazar was an okay villain. It got weird towards the end. I did like the beginning scenes. Then it just got very CGI and sci-fi.
Yeah, the whoever the cast that young boy who plays Orlando Bloom's son. Where did they find him? He looked like Orlando Bloom's son. Like, it's crazy how good casting that was as far as looks are concerned. I thought it was fine. I went to the drive-in to see it because a Pirates movie is not like a movie that I'm dying to see, and I'm like, driving can make it more fun. I did like the fact it was just over 2 hours. Weren't some of the other ones like 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
I'm always like with these super action films, I was like, cut it. Give me a 90-minute version. I'm good. I felt like this was a decent length for it. It's a Pirates movie. It's fine. Jack Sparrow's still there. He's still got it. And it opened. But at Disneyland, they did do some special stuff for the opening of it. They that weekend, they had a light-up balloon, apparently, that was specific to Pirates. They were selling the Pirate Steins that they've had in the past, but they were back. The Bootstrappers came out to perform, and Jack Sparrow could be found around Adventureland as well. I'm sorry, not Adventureland, New Orleans Square.
There's a lot happening this weekend.
Yeah, tons.
Even with that, the 40th anniversary of Space Mountain as well.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, man. So weekend for theme parks. Now going to some. We just talked about some movies. Some more movie news. Live action Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
Now, no surprise that they're going to do a live action version of this, but apparently they're in early talks with Sam Mendes, who is the director of American Beauty. So. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this one. This one could be good because it could actually be live action.
Yeah.
Like, it won't be all CG.
We've had live action Pinocchios before.
Yeah, we have actually the Jonathan Taylor Thomas one. Who made that?
I like that one.
I don't think I did like that one.
Okay.
I don't have great memories of it, but I had the VHS. I feel like I watched it once. So I was like, meh. But,
well then.
Yeah, sorry.
Speaking of movies.
Yeah.
We got a movie we've been talking about for a while coming out. The live to stage to film to your computer.
Yeah.
Version of Newsies came out May 20 something.
No, the 27th was everything. It was like the 25th or something. It's out there.
It's out. It's on iTunes. It's on Amazon. It's on Disney Movies. Anywhere. We bought it. We watched it.
I watched it.
How many times have you watched it?
Sat down and watched it fully through. None. Had it on constantly. A lot. Like, I've been watching it on my phone. I've been watching it on the computer. I've been watching it on the TV.
Skip around the different numbers.
Kind of, yeah. I've definitely... Watch What Happens, man. That number. And Seize the Day in Santa Fe. And it's also good.
Yeah.
You can get it now on iTunes, Google. It'll go to your Disney Movies anywhere. And trust me, I have been watching it anywhere. You can watch it in the shower on your phone.
You can watch it in line for Mission Breakout.
You can, yeah. It's so good. I mean, if you haven't heard us rave about Newsies enough on this show, well, then you haven't been listening very hard. No. So just go buy it is all I can say about that. Now, speaking of musicals, we all know that the live TV musical is kind of in a heyday right now. It's doing very, very well. There's one, and we've been saying, ABC, when are you going to get in this game? When's it going to happen? What's it going to be?
What is it going to be?
Well, we got an answer, a kind of answer, with The Wonderful World of Disney, The Little Mermaid live. But don't get too excited. It's not exactly what you think. This is going to happen on Tuesday, October 3rd, and I'm going to quote the press release to say we're going to intertwine it with show-stopping live musical performances via cutting-edge technology. So, they're going to be showing the film, the classic film Little Mermaid, and then cut to some sort of live performance? I don't know. I mean, I'm going to watch it.
It's a little weird.
It's cheap is what it is. I feel like they were maybe feeling the pressure to get into the live action game, especially since Little Mermaid has a Broadway musical version of it. Like, why didn't they just put on a full production? Maybe this is their test. I don't know. In this whole via cutting edge technology, is this cutting edge technology green screen? Like,
I also felt that it was weird for the Little Mermaid to be the choice as well.
Yeah.
I feel like jumping on the hype Beauty and the Beast would have worked better.
They might have been a little worried about oversaturation. Plus, honestly, in my humble opinion, I think Beauty and the Beast is headed back to Broadway. So,
which would be a great segue.
I guess. But, speaking of Beauty and the Beast, we'll talk about this in a future episode, but one of the cruise ships has done some really beautiful stuff with their Beauty and the Beast live production. But, yeah, I'm a little concerned because, like, we're going to have live performance breaking into the film via cutting-edge technology, which makes me think the live action is going to be mixed in with the animation. So does that mean, like, we're going to get Ariel singing Part of Your World, yet some, like, Ariana Grande or something is going to jump in and sing the vocals for Ariel at that moment? Like, I don't know what it means, but it's not the typical live musical we're used to. I guess we're just going to have to wait for October 3rd.
It seems like what we're used to at, like, say, a Hollywood Bowl performance where they show... At least when they did The Little Mermaid at the Hollywood Bowl, they played the film, and as soon as it got to a number, they like stopped, and then it just went to like someone performing the number.
See, I don't like that. Unless it's gonna be Jodie Benson, like.
Well, then like the picture kept going, but like they just cut the audio.
Yeah, no, I don't want anybody replacing Jodie Benson's voice in that case. Like, that's not cool. The times I have seen that, it was the actual performer. So like I saw Nightmare Before Christmas that way, but Danny Elfman came out and sang for Jack.
Well, yeah, I saw it with Jodie Benson. So
okay, well that's what the TV one should be. But let's face it, that's not gonna happen. We're gonna get Jordan Fisher singing something. Like, that's gonna happen, and you're good with that, right? If they add Flotsam and Jetsam song in there from the musical, maybe...
I know, I'm like trying to think what he could fit into, but I don't see it.
He could be Sebastian.
No.
I don't know. Maybe he'll be Flounder.
I mean, Prince Eric.
He doesn't sing. If they add her voice from the musical, that'd be great.
Yeah, in the musical.
If they do the musical stuff, that'd be great. I'm happy they're getting in the game. I get your head in the game, but we'll see what this is. It just sounds like a little cheap to me, but we'll see. A
little cheap.
Anyway, speaking of musicals, what else is going on?
We got another musical.
Performer.
I lost my thing.
Oh, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh.
Yeah.
DuckTales.
Yes.
Coming. This DuckTales cast is getting crazy.
Yeah. Mr. Hamilton himself will be playing Gizmo Duck.
And what he has a saying.
Oh, I don't know.
I forgot it.
Yeah, good job. No,
that's a saying. I forgot. No, I don't know.
I was gonna say what?
Yeah. So he's like a nerdy duck.
He's a robot, isn't he? Isn't he like the robotic duck?
Oh, is he?
I thought so, but I'm not a huge DuckTales fan, so I'm not the best.
Apparently not am I either.
Yeah, but you are a big Lin-Manuel fan. Yeah. So now, here's the thing. Lin-Manuel has done several projects. Currently working on the movie version of Little Mermaid. He's done Moana. He's doing Mr. Rings. Mary Poppins Returns. 2. Now he's in DuckTales. Do you think there's any chance that this year at the D23 Expo, we will get a surprise Disney legend inductee? What's the word?
I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty decent chance of it, considering what do we got? We got live action Little Mermaid he's working on. We got Mary Poppins Returns, which he's currently shooting. We have Moana, and now we have DuckTales. I mean, Lin-Manuel's all over Disney, and based on the way that some other people have gotten in, I feel like he's done more than a lot of people. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll be excited.
Yes, you will. And I'll be like, I'll go. Golf applause. Congratulations.
But D23 is so soon, so...
Very soon. We're going to have to do an episode, a D23 episode,
Soon.
to prepare these folks who have never been that are going for the first time.
It's so good.
It's the best! Anyway, guys, before we get to some trivia, I do want to give a shout out to Eileen Gross. Hello, Eileen Gross. Thank you so much for leaving us a 5-star written review on iTunes. Pat,
What?
you want to know why Eileen got a shout out on the show?
Because she probably left a 5-star review in iTunes.
Yes, she did. So if you want to shout out, just go do that. It helps other Disney fans find the show, so it's always appreciated as well. But I think that means it's trivia time! Hey folks, for today's trivia time, I have Laurens here, who I found on Instagram. He is from the Netherlands. I believe you are our first international DCTC guest, so welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. So not only do you have a really awesome, wonderful Disney Instagram account, but you also have performed in the parks. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I first performed in Walt Disney World and in entertainment and doing the college program. And after that, I worked in Disneyland Paris, also in entertainment. So that was an amazing experience.
Did you do mostly parades or shows, or what kind of stuff did you do?
I mostly did meet and greets. So
okay.
Meet and greet for a character.
Very cool. Excellent. Well, as I mentioned before, he does have an Instagram account. If you want to follow it, it's a lot of photos from Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney World, which I assume you must have stocked up on quite a few photos because you haven't been working there for a while.
True.
So
yeah, I haven't been in the Magic Kingdom for 2 years now, so yeah, I'm running out of pictures from the Magic Kingdom. But
that's just a perfect excuse to go back.
Definitely, sure, yeah.
So if you do want to check out his photos on Instagram, go to LAURENSKONING95 is the username on Instagram. But we're here for some trivia, so let's get to it. Today's trivia subject is Disney castles. So do you have a question for me?
I definitely have a question. Well, since I love Cinderella Castle, actually the most of all castles, I have a question about Cinderella Castle. Do you know how many gallons of water is surrounding Cinderella Castle in Walt Disney World?
Oh, wow. I'm so bad at guessing this type of stuff. Let me think. I'm going to say 2 million gallons. Am I close-ish or am I way off?
Close, yeah, close.
Let's go with 1.7 million.
It's a bit higher, yeah.
It's a higher, 2.2 million?
Yeah. Higher. More. There's more water.
2.6 million gallons.
More water.
2.8 million.
More.
3 million?
A bit more.
3.2.
You're getting close now.
I feel like I'm on The Price is Right. 3.3 million gallons of water.
Yes.
3.
That's correctly.
That's a lot. Wow. Now, tell me, do you happen to know, because I believe when they did the new hub, which when you were there, was the new hub there, or were they still doing construction on it? Okay. Do you know if that number is before or after the new hub? Because I believe they got rid of some of the water.
Yeah, I believe they got rid of some of the water, but it's still a lot around the castle. So there's the most of the water going on. So
wow,
it could be a little bit less now, but yeah, it's still a lot of water to look at and see the castle being even bigger and more majestic.
That is a very large number. Now, that you said that is your favorite castle, even since the opening of Shanghai's castle.
Well, I actually don't know anything about the castle in Shanghai. I've seen it, of course, but I haven't been there yet. Yeah. So I will be surprised, I guess, when I see that one.
Actually, my favorite as far as just like visual aesthetics is Disneyland Paris. I love that castle. I know, like, obviously Cinderella Castle is larger and more grandiose in that sense. There's something about the colors and the shape of Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland Paris that I absolutely love.
And there is a reason, of course, behind the colors.
The color, I've heard it's to keep people warmer, like psychologically, because it can get so much colder in Paris than in Florida. I've heard it's to keep people warm. Have you heard something different?
Yeah, and I heard it's most of the time gray in Paris, so very much cloudy. So because of the gray weather, and in Florida, it's always sun is always shining. So
that makes sense. It's also part of the reason why a lot of times at Walt Disney World, I'm not sure about the other parks, but at Walt Disney World, a lot of the pavement is red or a reddish tone to it because it takes better photographs that way. So I would assume same thing with the Sleeping Beauty Castle. It's interesting. Cool. Well, I've got a castle question for you. It's actually about Cinderella Castle as well. And as you probably know, there is a Cinderella Castle at the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World, but also in Tokyo Disneyland, it's Cinderella Castle. I'm curious if you know whether or not they're the same height, if one is taller than the other, and if so, what are the heights of the castles?
ooh, that's a good one. I believe the one in Walt Disney World is a bit higher.
That is correct. It is taller at Walt Disney World.
I believe the one in Orlando is 180 feet.
Ooh, a bit higher. Very close. Very close.
190.
So close. So close.
Well, then I say 189.
Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
You got Cinderella Castle at the Magic Kingdom, 189 feet. Now, you said that one's a bit taller than the one in Tokyo. So, how tall do you think the one in Tokyo might be?
182?
Nope. It's a bit less than that.
180?
Even lower.
170?
It's pretty close, but a little bit lower than that.
165.
Up a little?
166.
Up.
67.
Up.
68.
Yes, 168 feet, which actually is it's a considerable difference. I didn't realize they were that different in size, but yeah, I actually didn't even realize they were different sizes. I thought they were the same size. I thought it was.
They look the same.
Yeah, I know Sleeping Beauty Castle in Hong Kong Disneyland is like an exact copy of the one at the original Disneyland park, so I kind of assumed it was similar between Magic Kingdom and Tokyo, but nope. I was wrong. So I learned something today too.
Maybe it's because of the utilidors.
Maybe that could.
Magic Kingdom is a bit higher. I don't know.
Yeah. No, as a cast member, you must have spent time in the utilidors. Yeah.
Oh yes, I did.
Is it?
Yes.
I mean, I've been down there briefly. It's just like being in a basement. It's a little bit weird, honestly. But did you get lost down there?
Yeah. Every time I needed a map to go somewhere because I did not know where to go.
Yeah, I believe that because as I was down there, even though they got like paintings on the walls with giant arrows as to which land you're going, I'm like, I have no sense of direction here whatsoever. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, thank you so much for coming on the show for Trivia Time. As I mentioned, you can follow him at LAURENSKONING95 is the username on Instagram. Be sure to do that. Thanks so much for joining me for today's Trivia Time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, Patrick, that was a lot of Disney news this week.
A lot of Mission Breakout.
And I feel like it's just getting started. The summer is just getting started, so there's going to be a lot more Disney stuff happening. And as we said at the beginning, we got Pandora stuff to talk about and lots more. But I think that's going to do it for us this week, folks. Thanks for joining. Have a magical week, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for watching Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.